You're watching Camera64 videos. I am your host, Alfonso Chavez, and we are back with our very first set of tips. It's funny that me and my son came out this morning to come shoot this video, and one of the tips that we were going to talk about actually happened to us on our, when we got out here, and that is make sure that you always pack extras and doubles of stuff. We realized that I forgot, me like a big dummy, forgot to bring our extra SD cards, and here we are with 3 cameras and a voice recorder, and we have one single card to do this on. So how smart was that? Make sure that you always carry extra cards with you. The great thing about that now is that cards now are very inexpensive, and you can also catch them on sale a lot of times. Sometimes I'm with my wife and we're out shopping, and I'll catch an 8 gig card at Walgreens or Walmart or Best Buy or Target, and I'll see an 8 gig card for $10. So they're very inexpensive. So whenever you got extra cash in your pocket, it's always a good idea to pick up an extra SD card so you're not in the same situation that we are right now. Luckily, I got my trusty cell phone with me, and being that cell phones are what they are today, they're so advanced and they got so many features, I said, well, let me plug in my lavalier into my phone. So the sound quality may not be up to par this week, but we do have sound, so we're going to go with it. The next thing I want to talk about, and just to let you guys know, every one of these tips, these are things that actually have happened, or I've had friends who have told me that this has happened to them. The next thing is carrying a little wipey in your camera bag too. It can be the little spongy type, the cloth wipies, or you can also pick up the wet wipies. You can get those at Walmart. And they're like $2 for $2.50 for 50 wipes, and they're specifically made to clean out your lenses. A lot of times when you're handling your camera, you will accidentally put a thumbprint or even a fingerprint on the front of your lens, and then not even realize that you've done it. So every time that you're going to shoot, especially if you're getting paid, or even if you're not, you want to run your wipe across the front of your lens and make sure that there's nothing there, because I've done it myself. So I was doing a paid job and I absolutely did not check, and I could not get focused, and I couldn't figure it out. You know, you're so nervous doing your first job, and come to find out, when I got my pictures on my computer, I had a big old smudge there, and it was my thumb. I simply accidentally put my thumb on the front of my lens and didn't clean it off. Extra batteries as well. You always want to keep an extra battery in your pocket. Let me see if I got it on me. I think I do. No, I don't. Normally, whenever I got my camera, I've got the battery that's in my camera, and I also carry an extra battery as well. I can't speak for all different manufacturers, but for Canon, most of those, most of the time, an extra replacement battery for your camera runs anywhere between $40 and $50. Again, this is going back to experience that I've bought the cheap generic batteries from other makers, and to be honest, most of them lasted 6 months or less. They started losing power immediately after like the 3rd or 4th charge. They don't hold a full charge anymore. So I highly recommend buying the battery that's from the manufacturer, because those do last. I made the mistake of buying 3 or 4 of the old ones, which came out to around, I want to say $80 or $90, when I should have just went ahead and bought 2 Canon batteries, which is eventually what I did. So now I got 3 Canon batteries, and I can throw one, and usually one battery will last me an entire event. Unless you have a grip, then you can put 2 batteries in there, in which case you can, I've gone 3 or 4 days sometimes shooting with the batteries that are in there. But tip number 3, it goes back to SD. I forgot to mention it while I was there. And this actually happened to me again while I was doing a job. We were doing a family shoot, and the mother had set up. She had this idea about surprising her son who was gonna get married, and she wanted to surprise them with a vacation trip to I don't remember where, Hawaii or somewhere along that line. And she says, I want to, as I'm handing her the card with the tickets, or the airline tickets in it, I want you to grab pictures of it. Well, this was after we had done the family shoot and we had gotten through all that, and this was just something extra that she had requested that I do. And I said, sure, not a problem. Well, me, like a dummy, again, didn't realize that my card was almost full. I only had space for maybe 3 or 4 pictures. So the lady hands her son the card, and they're opening the card. So I'm snapping pictures while he's opening it. And fortunately for me, I got his initial reaction. But after that, my card was full. My camera is flashing at me. Hey, dummy, your SD card's full. So what do? I faked it. I kept shooting. I pretended like I was shooting pictures. But in actuality, I only got his initial reaction, and that was it. So I had to go and switch out cards and have them do the hug again and all that good stuff. So the point behind that is make sure that you have enough space. It's always a good idea to not let your card get completely full, and change it out, especially if you're doing an event or any kind of sporting event or social event or anything for that matter. You always want to keep track of how many pictures you have on your card. If you have a 2 gig card and it's only good for 400 pictures, most cameras now will tell you how many pictures are left. When you get down to 100, it's so easy to forget that you only have 100 pictures left or 50 pictures left. Change out the SD card. Make sure you got a new SD card in there. You don't want to miss anything. And my last tip is find somebody that's interested in photography as well as you. In my case, it's my son, and so he's my permanent assistant. Come on over here, Alan. He's my permanent assistant, and so what happens is that whenever I ask him, hey, carry a flash and put it over there, or bring a flash and set it up over there, set up the camera. So a lot of times he spends a lot of time doing stuff that I need extra to do, because I only have one camera. And I only got one set of hands, and so he's my second set of hands. So that was our last tip. Finding an assistant is the last tip, and usually it can be somebody that enjoys photography or just likes hanging out with you. That works too. So for right now, this is Alfonso Chavez, and this is Alon, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up. You can get a hold of us at www.camera64.com. And you can also catch us from our contact page. You can send us an email, and the email is alfonso@camera64.com. And we welcome all suggestions and any ideas that you might have for future episodes. We want to hear from you, and if we do get an email from you, we'll do our best to make a video that's dedicated to your question that you have. Till then, you have a great day, and this is Camera64 Videos. And I was your host, Alfonso Chavez. Thank you. You have a great day. Yeah, I'm telling you, that damn train. It's pretty windy up here. Damn, get the flies off of the set. Man, flies got the whole world to fly around. He's got to fly around in front of my face when I'm doing a video. I'm telling you. Adjust myself a little bit. Train?
Yeah, you think it's gonna go so fast?
It's alright. In case anybody's wondering, we're above a train yard, an active train yard. The train passes quite frequently below us. So here comes the train. It's running through. Let's wave at it, see if we can get him to wave. Yeah, he waved at us. That's cool. So we're at the mercy of the train. looks like they're moving oil